All right, we are now live. It's Mike Pyatt with Bryan Fleming, and we're going to go over today Bryan's funnel, get into what's going on there, all the things that are working right, and also what could not be working as well and how to scale it and improve it. So I'm really interested to see that and get the insights from it and how we can improve it and apply it to our own businesses as well.
Yeah, I think that's good. We'll get into it in a little bit, but the long story, last week was a miserable ass week with sales, like one of the worst we've ever had. And I just started digging into stuff more and more. It could just be it was a bad week. It could be some systematic things. We'll talk about it more. This week, I am not in Detroit. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm out here with my day job. It's the diesel parts business. And an interesting thing I'm going to let you guys know on a video. Think about this for a second. Diesel parts business, you are selling $4 or $5 billion a year in parts, and Amazon's starting to cut in on your business. And you want to build like a diesel parts website like Amazon, how much would you spend on that website? And when I put it in that perspective and think like I'd spend hundreds of millions of dollars on that website, I'd do everything I could to save my billion-dollar business. And so the aha I got from that, very, very different end of the spectrum from the stuff we're doing. But boy, if you wanted to get into building apps and software for big corporations, they will cut you the checks. They have got money to spend on this stuff. They will kill you with meetings and changes and everything else. But if you want a big payday and you can write some code, that might be something to look into. It's just writing apps for companies. It's hugely profitable, but it doesn't fit into the lifestyle business I'm trying to build with PC Tattletale. I don't think it fits your model either, Mike, but it's just an observation. That's an opportunity out there, and to see that these companies, and it could be any industry, they're not sitting there just watching their business evaporate. They're aware of Amazon, and it's just shit's changing, man. I don't know what else to really say about it, but I will say, Mike, Salt Lake City, walked around in the city here this morning, and it is so much nicer than Detroit, man. Detroit is such a shithole, man. I don't know why we live there, but we do. It's home. I guess you got to have home somewhere, but yeah, Salt Lake, and you guys watching this video, man, if you live in Salt Lake, beautiful city. Really, really enjoy it here. So anyway, we were going to talk about PC Tattletale today.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. The sales funnel, your numbers, and
yep.
How to improve it.
So let me set the stage with things. PC Tattletale is not intended to make $100 million a year. It's not intended to make $1 million a year. It's set up as a lifestyle business, basically, to replace my wife's income and then a little extra money. If it was in the low six figures, that's perfectly fine. In fact, I don't think I would want it much bigger than that, because as it gets bigger, it's going to get more complex. I've tried to not hire employees to keep the business simple, and it's actually pretty close on fulfilling its mission. So to set some context here, for PC Tattletale to be where I want it to be, where I'm happy with it, spending off enough cash to fund my lifestyle, it needs to be around the 20 to 30 sales a week mark, right in there. And in the last couple months, we've been at 20, 22 sales a week, and then it started slipping down. Last week was friggin' awful. It was 8 sales. It just sucked. And so when these sort of things happen to your business, you start asking why. Why did sales go down? And I think I talked in other videos, it's important to keep metrics maybe weekly or monthly on all parts of your business. So when this stuff goes south, you can start troubleshooting and say, well, where is it breaking down? Is it not enough people coming to the site? Are they not installing the app? What's going on? And it's really a lot of analytics, and it's not always easy to figure out. So what I did, I put together just a simple sales funnel. I'm going to share my screen here, Mike. We'll talk about this sales funnel. And I think it plays off this theme we've kind of had on our calls of customer lifetime value, because when I look at it, that's the first thing I see. So I am going to share my screen here. I'm going to do, oh, wow, this thing is so awesome. Can you see that?
Yes.
Can you see the full presenting now? It says loading.
Yeah, loading. It was.
Right.
Okay, yep, I can see it all. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Wait for that exit full screen to go away. Hopefully that goes away. Anyway, okay. So let's look at, I guess it would be the left side. We see in 2018, and let's just look at those.
Okay.
200 people come to my website. 10 of those people install the free trial. 5 install the app. And we know after they install the app, the chances of them buying are much higher. So that makes 1 sale. My app has all different price points. We've talked on other calls, Mike. I tried to put more upgrades in there to get more than $100 out of people. And when I average that out, it comes out to about $112, $115 a sale. I know around 30% of the people are going to renew.
Okay.
Whether I can do forced continuity when I'm just billing their credit card, or if they just sign into the site and see that it's expired, they'll put their credit card in and buy again. So I look and I see a $150 lifetime value. You have to keep in mind that probably $30 to $50 of that is a year away. You don't get it all up front.
Right.
So when my sales went to 8 sales a week, that was 2018. And then I looked at the last 4 weeks. I took an average of those, and I see it sucks. It's going in the wrong direction. I've been putting work into making the software better. I've been putting work into making the sign-up process smoother. This is not what you want to see happen, and it's going backwards. I have some theories as to why. Of course, I have a hypothesis as to why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my first hypothesis is that the traffic quality has changed. And me and you, a couple months ago, were looking at boosting a blog post about cheating spouses wanting to put this on an Android phone to catch their wife or husband. And that blog post, just so you know, guys, it gets like 100 views a day now, where it was getting 20. And that's great, but it doesn't convert. These people do not end up being buyers. I think the value per page view is like 5 cents, to put it in perspective, right? So because this low quality traffic's now coming into my site, it's causing the stats to go the wrong way. It's my first hypothesis. My second hypothesis is when I take all of 2018, it had credit card processing in there. And I know that's people's number one option is to pick credit cards. And I didn't have them. I didn't have them these last 4 weeks. So maybe not offering a credit card payment option was causing these metrics to slip backwards. A third thing that could be affecting it is goddamn Google updated Android and broke my software slightly. So I started getting emails in the help desk of people saying, hey, when my husband puts the phone in incognito mode, I just get a black screen. Your software doesn't work. I want my money back, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, it does work. I mean, I pull out my test phone, and lo and behold, it doesn't work anymore. They patched a hole, call it what you want. It just doesn't do that function anymore. So I could be a dick. I could say, hey, in the terms of service, it's pretty clear. It says that if the vendor changes the underlying software and it breaks our stuff, you still owe us the money. I'm not going to refund you for that. But would you agree, Mike, if I did that, this person would go to every review site they could find and give me 1 star and say we suck and everything else?
Right. For
that
sure.
would probably do way more damage than just doing the right thing and giving them their money back.
Right.
So I've been giving a few people their money back. I don't know. It could be a little bit of all 3 that's causing this.
Right.
So when I average out all of 2018, the good weeks, the bad weeks, I'm at about 15 sales. I need to be at like 20 to 30. We'll call it 25. That's not quite 50% growth, but it is double-digit growth to do this. So either I could really clean up this funnel. And in my experience, when you do those sorts of things, you can get tiny bumps, but I don't think it would be enough for like the double-digit gains I'm looking for. I've even gone through it a couple times and cleaned it up, and it didn't really move the needle much. So that would be one approach, is to try to make the funnel better. The other one would be to just get more quality people, right?
Right.
And when I look at that end, it's like, okay, well, now we're back into marketing. We're into attracting new people. And so that can just seem overwhelming. I'm sure anyone that runs a web business, when you think marketing, it's like, well, shit, I could do social media. I could do pay. I could do like so many things. What do I focus on? You know, just overwhelming. When I look at this and I think about paid ads, it kind of falls into that bucket of not enough lifetime value to really make it work. And so even if I could get it to work, we're looking at 150 divided by 300. Let's call it 50 cents a click to break even. I would have to be getting quality traffic at like, I don't know, less than 50 cents a click. And my question to you, Mike, you've been doing this stuff with Vince. I think his lifetime value is similar, but I don't think he has 300 web visitors to make a sale.
Right.
Is my thinking in your mind correct or short-sighted, or what do you think when you look at these numbers? Would you think paid traffic would work better, or do you think free traffic would work better?
I would say, yeah, you're right. With all the different elements are going to affect it, like the different, different traffic, sources, and then even within Google Organic, the different keywords. Yeah, if that's all, yeah, it can really affect everything,
Yeah.
So I think that could be your biggest one. If you're not getting the right quality traffic for some reason, if they just want something free or not what they're looking for, then yeah, they're not going to buy no matter how good it is.
Yeah, and I think with the cheating spouse thing, I think it's a lot of things why it doesn't work. They gotta get their spouse's phone. They may not be able to do that, or may not want to do it. They may not be able to buy it, because how do I buy it without my spouse seeing it goes on a credit card, right?
Right, but I would say it's even that type of person, but also the keyword they're typing in. Like if they're typing in like spy software, mobile, or site to spy.
Well, I will say that that a tell on that is the free modifiers around. When I go into Google Webmaster Tools and I look at the search queries, like a lot of them have free modifiers in them, free spouse tracking software. So they're kind of not buyers.
Right.
Mike, this brings me up to something a couple years ago. Man, I think it was like 5 years ago. Guys, I had two websites, one called Free Article Spinner and one called Convert YouTube, a YouTube downloader. Both suffered from the same problem.
Yeah.
Free Article Spinner would literally get 3,000 people a day from Google to this site. It had a sign up to be a member. It would have 150 or 200 people a day signing up for this thing. What the hell was it? Well, what it was, back 10 years ago, you could scrape a blog post and then have software spin it, mix the words up, mix the sentences up, repost it, and Google said, this is unique content, and it starts ranking your stuff. But it's a huge pain to like write fresh articles, so people would spin articles and post them. It's a little spammy, but it worked, And so knowing that, I was trying to market to these people, but long story short, I think, Mike, after many calls, you told me, and it was really about exactly 5 years ago, around this time, you said, look, this website is always going to be a distraction. You've been trying to get it to convert. You're having like seriously, guys, out of 2,000 people a day, I might have made 1 or 2 sales. Like, think of that, conversions just way south of 1%. And Mike, you said, if you don't sell this business, it's always going to be like drawing you back in, right? Because I would look at something like PC Tattletale, it'd get 5 email signups, and I'd look at free article spinner, got 200. Well, just spend the time on the free article spinner. So you talked me into selling that site, and it was great advice. But the whole takeaway of it is the problem with that site was traffic quality. Had loads of people, just low quality people that weren't looking to buy anything. I mean, they're going to a site called Free Article Spinner, right?
Right.
And I think we're seeing this same sort of thing on this blog post we boosted. And I should have known. I should have saw the free modifiers around it and saw that, but I assumed the app on itself converted higher. And I don't know. I guess you don't know till you try, right?
Right.
But I'm not going to boost that anymore. So on the paid side, from what you've seen with YouTube ads, do you think this funnel could work with that? Just from your experience with Vince? And I just bring him up because it seems like the products are sort of in the same universe. It's not a, $5,000 office wall. I know that's one of your clients.
Right. I would definitely think it would work.
You do? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I like the confidence in that answer. So one strategy might be YouTube ads.
Right.
And maybe what we could do is on future calls kind of build that out. That would actually be pretty cool to use some of the stuff look at what I'm doing on YouTube right now, which I don't think is very effective. I'm spending about 100 to 200 a month on retargeting ads, and I don't even know if they're effective. I'm just doing it. And then using some of the stuff that you've learned and changing it around, changing the video around, and see if we can't get some results with that. So that's super encouraging for me to hear that, because I look at this and I go, well, shit, 50 cents a click, it's just not going to work. It's just, there's just not enough money there, But if you think there is, I think it's worth looking into. When I look at free traffic methods, by far, the number one thing that's working for PC Tattletale is the blog. People come to the blog, they read a blog article, sign up for the free trial, and go right down this sales funnel. I'm going to shut the screen share off because I think we've looked at this long enough. Okay. Hold on a sec. How do I stop sharing? You're sharing. Sorry, man.
All good.
Is this sharing off?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. So free traffic, there's a million things we can do, but rather than just trying something new, why not double down on the stuff that's already working, right?
Right.
So that's the main direction I'm leaning right now. So we talked last week. I ranked my blog posts on Google Analytics. You can look at page value, like what's a visitor worth.
Right.
And yep. I mean, like right at the bottom is that cheating spouse page we boosted. Like it's the worst. It's got, it's just the worst.
Right.
And so I look at the top, and you guys, if you ever do this, and you have to have a blog that has a little bit of history. I couldn't have done this a year ago because the blog just didn't have enough history. But after it's been out a while and getting some traffic and making some sales, you can do this. So you rank it from top to bottom. And at the top, you're always going to see really stellar looking stuff. But the problem is it's not consistent. You'll see a page that got like 10 views and made one sale and has a $10 per visitor value. We'll throw that one out because it's only made one sale. It could have just been a fluke, right? So you got to look at ones that have a decent amount of traffic and still have a higher visitor dollar per visitor value. And when I went through that, we talked last week. There's an old competitor of mine called SpecterSoft, and they just wanted to get in the corporate game. They bailed on all their family type, individual customers. And I got a blog post it's getting a fair amount of traffic. Nothing compared to the other two we were doing. And it's at like at $1.30 per visitor. So think of $1.30 per visitor versus 5 cents, night and day different, right?
Right.
And so what I did with that blog post is I Googled it, and I looked at it in Google and I said, what could I do to make that title more compelling to click on? And so I went into Yoast SEO and I redid the title. I cleaned up the article. I found spots where it looked like it was just kind of, I was running out of energy, and I reamped it up. I did something else interesting too, Mike. I changed the publication date from 2016 to 2018. And it's a subtle thing, but I think when people are Googling and you see a published date of 3 years ago, you're like, it's not relevant. But if I see a published date of 2 months ago, it's like, well, this is new, fresh stuff. This is the latest information. So I'm more likely to click on it. I did those things, and it's not like the traffic just took off on it. But it does seem to be doing slightly better. Now, I could have gotten some links from you on that post, but when I Google it, it's already near the top of all the main keywords. So it's already ranking pretty well.
Okay.
There's another post I have. They had a second product called eBlaster.
Okay.
And that second post is not ranking quite as well. It's like, it's not 1 or 2, it's like 4 or 5 for its keyword. So I thought, well, this one I can do something about. So before our call earlier today, I want to run through with you what I did to this post to get it to boost. This is my strategy, okay? So it's an existing post. First thing I did is I went through the post and just kind of read through it and cleaned it up. I Googled it like I did the other one, and I really didn't like the headline. It didn't like even make a lot of sense. So I changed it around into something that would be more clickable. I changed the, what do you call that? The search description that comes under there, the metadata. I changed that to be a little more compelling and readable. I went into Google Webmaster Tools now that it has traffic, and I can see the ancillary keywords that are also coming up for. So it's coming up for eBlaster. It's coming up for eBlaster software, eBlaster download, eBlaster alternative. So I took those secondary keywords and worked them into the blog post so that it would help rank for those other keywords too. And that really was about all the on-page stuff I could do for the post. The next thing I did is I went into WordPress and I searched for all my other blog posts that had the word SpecterSoft in them, and like 4 blog posts came up, right? I went into those other 4 blog posts and linked those blog posts, you know, like an internal link to the eBlaster blog post to just give it more internal link push, right?
Yep.
And I actually did that to the other one. So internal blog linking, just looking at my notes here. Next thing I did, I don't think many people talk about this, but this has worked out relatively well for me, is answering questions on Quora and directing them back to a blog post for more information. So I went into Quora, I typed in SpecterSoft, Spectre Pro, eBlaster, and unfortunately not a lot of questions came up. And the ones that did come up, I kind of worked my answer in and linked to the blog post. Google does see those posts, because when I go into Google Webmaster, one of the highest, most linking sites to mine is Quora, because I've been doing this, which is good. They're a big authority site, right?
I like that. Yep.
Then I sat there and it's like, well, how else am I going to get links? Because that's the only way you can get it up there is you get links, or you have a great blog. Well, I already got a great blog post, so boy, I love White Label It Pro. It makes it so easy.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever tried to build links, and I have, my wife was telling me this the other day. She says, why don't you just get other people to write about you? Just get them to write about you, and you'll get. How do you get people to write about you? No. Like, have you ever tried that? It sucks.
It does.
Like, you have to find a blogger who's willing to do it. Maybe they want money. Who knows what they want? I mean, you can contact 50 or 100 people and just like get nothing out of it. It's a lot of work to get someone to just write an article about you. Not easy at all. But what I like about your service, Mike, is I can go in there and I'm going to say, I want this many links. I want this link text. Go. And then it's just like done. For what you charge for it, it's just cheaper than any other way I could get links. Even if I hired someone from India to send these emails, it would still end up costing me more, because I don't know many bloggers just like you and they're going to write a piece for you. They're going to want 50 or $100 to write a blog article. And some of their blogs just like suck, you know?
Right.
I paid 50 or $100 for a blog post, and it, you know, didn't have any readership, just like nothing. Right.
Right.
So that's what I did with this one. And my strategy is going to be a couple times a week to look at the next one on the list, whatever that is, and go through this same process until all the articles that are converting are in the top, what, 1 to 3 positions for their keywords.
Yeah, 1 to 3 is what I always aim for. Yep.
Yeah, so if it's in, and this First Spectre Soft one's a great example. It's already in the top 1 to 3 for all its main keywords. So I'll do the on page, I'll do the internal linking, but I think I'll save the paid links for the ones that need more help. And why would I do that? Mike, I think your service is like steroids, man. Like, it friggin' works, but you wouldn't like take a ton of steroids. It'd just kill you, right?
True. Yeah.
And I think if I bought hundreds and hundreds of links from you, Google would probably catch on to that, and I'd be a really sad camper on the call next week.
Yes.
So
exactly.
even though I use them, I try to use it sparingly. You know, it's like a really powerful weapon, and like a dab will do you. I don't try, you know, my wife was saying, well, why don't you just get it to rank your post for like cell phone tracker, like big keywords? Well, it's not doing that. I don't want to force Google's hand and point a bunch of links and start drawing attention to it. I kind of want your links to kind of help push it up in the direction it's already going. If it's got a ranking of 5, your links can get it to a 2.
Right.
But if it's got a ranking of a 90, you're probably not going to get to a 1 unless it's a shit ton of links. So that's how I've been using your service, and it's really helped. I just want to say that.
That's awesome.
So that's my strategy for growing it. Is there any other things that you might think of SEO wise that I might have forgot or left out? I'm thinking a little bit of the social piece, but I don't know how effective that's really going to be for this.
Define social.
Huh?
What do you mean by social?
Social would be, and I was doing this for a while, getting on all the main social channels, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and you're doing 2 things. You're aggregating other people's content. So I know people who buy this thing are into cheating spouses, right? So finding articles, infographics, that sort of thing on cheating spouses and putting them up on the social channel to draw interest, right?
Right.
And then you schedule those out with something like something like Buffer, and then you can work in your own stuff occasionally, right? And I could work those blog posts in, and they might get some shares and likes and all that. So that's a strategy. It's something, you know, just thinking about it. It probably takes, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes a week to fill up Buffer with that sort of stuff. And maybe it's something I'll consider doing. But I think right now I just want to focus on just the pure SEO because that's what's working. I don't get many people signing up from social media, you know?
Right.
But again, I'm not doing a lot of it either. So what do you expect?
True. Yeah. That's always a great question. Yeah. Which lead source to focus on? Because, yeah, like you said in the beginning, there's just so many. And, yeah, they can all work to a degree. It's just like, how do you put all these, you know, resources and effort, energy, and money into them, you know, to get them going? And, yeah, from my experience, like, you could only really do, like, one, you know, really well, then a secondary, and then maybe, like, a third, depending on, like, a situation, how much time it takes. But, yeah, you can't, like, do, like, I'm going to be on LinkedIn, I'm going to be on there. Like, it's just, for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to work that way. Like, you know, would you agree? Like,
it's funny you mentioned that. I was listening to a podcast. Oh gosh, what one was it? I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, they were saying that most apps usually have one big sales channel. They have like one main one, exactly what you said, and the other ones are ancillary. My number 2, coincidentally, is YouTube. And my number 3 is App Store. And I don't know if it's the Google App Store or the Amazon one, but what I just said tells me Google has a very, very large footprint on traffic sources. That's not a good thing. I think my long-term strategy, Mike, will be to get the SEO to a place where PC title tails like 25 sales a weekish. And it might be smart to start diversifying lead sources, knowing that if they shut me down or whatever, it just change my rankings, that all that's going to go bye-bye. That's not a fun place to be.
True. So what prevents you from putting up YouTube ads and getting that going?
What prevents me from doing it is I don't believe they're going to work because I'm making $150 per I make $150 lifetime value of customers, and I got to get 300 clicks off YouTube to get one of these people. So that's my hesitation. If I start going that paid route and I have to give half my money to YouTube, like let's say I actually get a 100% ROI, which you may not even get that good, but now I'm having to make 50 sales a week, not 25, and my support goes up, right? Now I have to get a support rep, and then the whole thing just gets more complicated. So that's been my hesitation. It's mostly belief. I don't believe it'll work. But if you believe it'll work and you sound pretty convinced it'll work, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to try.
I mean, yeah, I would say with like targeting, like similar to Audience List, or I know there's like an in-market group about like security and like spyware. I'm not sure if that would fall under the same audience, if they would be interested in the same type of stuff. And then, yeah, with a good ad, and yeah, your funnel seems to be pretty solid.
Well, that's the other beauty of it too, is once you have a working funnel, and I mean, this one works, it is what it is, it does make sales. Now you can go to other sources, and if the source doesn't work, you know it's probably the source and not your funnel, right?
Right.
So that's an advantage of having a business. It's a little more established, not like a brand new one. Because if it's new, you just don't know if it's you or them.
Right, exactly. And I wonder, I don't know if it may be too expensive to hit like the business people too, and you know, show them how much money like they're losing from their employees, like being on Facebook and you know, paint the picture there.
Yeah, that was another thought, is going at actually what I thought of doing was looking at the people that bought the businesses packages, you know, the more expensive ones,
Yeah.
and then reaching out to them and asking them how they're using it and how it's working.
Right.
And then writing case studies on that. So
Yeah.
let's say I saw a sale come in, a $400 package, and it looked like it was like a IT help desk type service.
Okay.
It would make sense you'd have software like that for them, right?
Right.
And so maybe I reach out to them and they say, well, we use it to monitor our agents and make sure they're doing their job right, you know? And so then I would write a blog article about how a call center can, exactly what you said, and that would be something you could promote out on social and YouTube and all that. So that's definitely in there, because those are the better quality customers, right? Those are the guys who are going to buy the higher packages, renew year after year, add more machines. Those are the ones you want to go after. But you know, you've seen it in other industries. Those cost per clicks are like $10 a click. It's expensive, and none of my blog posts are ranking for those. So I feel like if I bought a shit ton of links from you to try to force Google's hands to get them to raise them up, it might be swimming upstream a little bit. But that's definitely on my radar, is how do I attract more business customers? Maybe it ends up being a webinar, right? That might be a free traffic source where you JV with people and you do webinars on how to monitor your employees. So maybe that's an option to think of down the road.
True. Yeah.
But I like the idea of the YouTube ads, and I think on future calls we could run through maybe what I'm doing now, pick it apart. You give me some suggestions, I'll go execute on it, and then we'll look at it the following week. And I think that'd be really interesting for everybody watching these videos, to see what we can do with it. It'd be awesome if YouTube worked.
That'd be
then
awesome.
If it works on YouTube, I know I could take it to Facebook and replicate the results, and be interesting to see if I could even do that.
True. Now, do you think there would be like because you can target your ads both in stream and side ads like on the exact, video URL. Would
Yeah.
there be specific videos that either of these two different family or business avatars may be watching? I guess.
Other videos?
Yeah.
Sure. So anyone who's watching a video on SpectreSoft that's not being made anymore would probably be interested in my stuff, right? I
Right.
already know that's my highest converting keyword. So I know those people have the highest likelihood of converting. So yeah, anyone watching a SpectreSoft video sees mine as a pre-roll. And if there's enough of those, the pre-roll, I'm just guessing, could be something along like, hey guys, did you know SpectreSoft ain't around anymore? I made a great app that does all this better shit, and go check it out. Try it for free, right?
What I realized is like it's a really advanced move. Is like to make ads so specific for like every situation, because yeah, that would crush it. Yeah, definitely.
Does that help when they're razor targeted like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, any advertisement or communication. Yeah, when it's exactly like before you watch this video on SpectreSoft, let me say that one's dead. It's over. Here's the better option. Obviously saying it in a different way, but here's how. Here's why. Here's what. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, cool. You're getting me pumped up on YouTube ads now. I like it.
Yeah. I'm writing the book right now, so we'll
hey, I'm going to be a case study in your book. I can already tell. Tell, man.
Yes, definitely. Seriously, I think so. It'd be a case study for all my businesses.
Hey, why not? Someone's got to do it.
Yep, exactly. Appreciate it.
It's actually a good case study because a lot of times you see, I know you've seen this. The case study is of me selling a book on people on how to do this thing. Like the case study is what you're selling, and this is a friggin' app. It has nothing to do with making money, none of that stuff. It's just like an app, right? It's like a business. So yeah, that should be cool. I think we're getting close on the half-hour mark.
Okay, yeah, we'll
see what else. Hey, a couple other things, not related to marketing and SEO. I made my first Bitcoin sale today. I'm so friggin' pumped, man. And I don't know why this just screws with me, but I'm sitting here in Salt Lake and I just can't get past the fact that those damn Bitcoins are sitting in my Mac back in Detroit. It's just weird. So they like bought it on the website. The Bitcoins got beamed into my Mac. They're sitting in the Mac. You know what I love about it, Mike? And it's not like malicious, but PayPal can't take that money back. Visa and MasterCard can't say this person wants a refund. Like, I got those Bitcoins. It's up to me if I want to give them back to that person. There's no recourse,
Full control.
I'm seeing other industries, I guess I'm just aware of it, that cannot accept Visa and MasterCard. It just seems like all of a sudden they just can't do it. And they come up with these just stupid friggin' ways to buy things like gift cards, and inevitably they turn to crypto. And I think Visa and MasterCard are going to cut their own throat with not allowing businesses to accept their payment. I do want to wrap it up on the payment thing because I finally friggin' got credit cards working on my site Saturday. So next week, my hypothesis is that sales return up to the 15 to 20 mark. And a large part of that was due to the not having the credit cards. That's my hypothesis. Okay, we'll see if that plays out. It's been a decent week so far. It's been like 2 or 3 sales a day, but it's early on in the week. So got my credit card processing turned on. Just everybody watching this video, think about this. Mike, you accept most of your payments through PayPal?
All of them, yeah.
All of them. Yep, as was I. Never thought twice about it. Like, been doing PayPal for 10 years now. Never had a problem with those guys. Love them.
Right.
I've heard more than one horror story of PayPal just shutting down people's accounts for any friggin' reason, being dicks, holding your money like 20 grand,
Right.
So if you're using PayPal, you keep in the back of your mind, like, if it got shut down, what would you do? Well, I'd open one in my wife's name,
Mm-hmm.
because they're getting more sophisticated now at tracking people through social security numbers, and they just won't let any flyby guy just sign up for a PayPal account. They want to see like you're a real person, a legitimate person, right?
Right.
So once you're done with PayPal, they ain't gonna let you sign up again. So you could have like sign up under a girlfriend. Short of that, you are gonna have to get a merchant account, and that world, you know, they don't like free trials. They don't like businesses that do tech support. Like, think about that. Like, why wouldn't they like that? Well, he couldn't fix my computer. I spent an hour on the phone with him. I want my $100 back. Like that stuff, right?
Right.
You could find that the SEO type services that they go, we don't like that business. We're not going to let you accept money. And then you're in this position of, well, how the fuck do I conduct business online if I don't have Visa and MasterCard's blessing to accept their friggin' credit card payments, you know?
Right.
And it's a tough spot to be in. What I found is there's, like anything, it feels like there's probably 2 or 3 of these so-called high-risk providers out there, which will charge you more money, but will accept the credit cards. That's who I ended up with. So when I make $100 sale now, they're going to take a couple bucks off the top for their credit card processing fee. Then they're going to hold 10% of those purchases. So that's like $10 right off the top. So out of that $100 sale, I'll probably actually see $85, $87 of that.
Wow.
Just where I'm at. I'll get
Right.
the other $10 6 months from now. It's just ridiculous. But these are all problems that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin's trying to solve. And seeing that one sale came in, hugely cool. If 3 months from now it's a couple sales a month, that's a sign that Bitcoin's growing in popularity, and I'm super proud to be a part of it.
Bro.
Yeah. So that's been my journey into merchant card hell. I hope I'm through it. Really hope I'm through it. It's just been a mess, man.
Yeah, I'll be using that shortly, so I'm probably going to be asking you who to use. And
You thinking of switching over to credit cards?
well, as I do sell more information products, yeah, probably. Yep.
Yeah, because you might find that by only accepting PayPal, you're leaving a lot on the table. I am.
Right.
I know I am.
Right.
You know, not everybody has it, but your market's probably a little more sophisticated and hip and like is up on that stuff. But yeah, you just never know. You could get an email right after our call from PayPal saying account closed. Like, shit, why'd you close my account? Oh, new terms of service. We don't like your business anymore. You're done.
Right.
So.
Yep. The joys of it all. Yep. All the pieces, and yeah, backups.
Yeah, platform dependence. I think it all falls under that word. And I have heavy platform dependence with Google right now because they're my main source of leads. Not good, but it's just where I'm at.
Yep. Get one, and then yeah, as quick as possible, get the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, build more legs to make it more sturdy.
What I do like about the YouTube ads thing is, and I've always said this, you're paying Google money, so at least they have an incentive to like help you. There's a real trade there, where with SEO, you're not really paying them anything. They're just kind of doing it.
Right.
But the other side I've seen is they can be real strict with these ads. They will not let me run an ad of talking about cheating spouses. Like, no way. Don't even breathe about that, or they will just turn off your ads. It's declined.
Right. True.
Yep.
Yeah.
A couple other things. I'll talk more about it on future calls, but my one client I have, we're doing lead ads on Facebook.
Okay.
They wanted to start doing those. Those look like they're working really well. So I'll report on those. And despite me telling them not to do LinkedIn ads because they're crazy expensive, they're plowing ahead and wanting to do them anyway. And I think it's cool because who knows? It may work for them, you know?
Right.
It goes back to that thing of when you have investors and it's not your money, it's just easier to spend than when it's your own money.
True. Very true. So are you running the LinkedIn ads?
Huh?
Are you running the LinkedIn ads, like setting them up and stuff?
Yeah, it's like any other ad platform, it's not nearly as sophisticated as Google or Facebook, and it's expensive. You know, I see it. It's like shit, $50 a day, $8.60 a click. You know, but they're convinced it's going in front of higher quality people. They'd rather pay more to get an executive than a junior sales guy. You know,
Bro.
so we'll see. We'll see.
Exactly.
It's cool. It's cool being on a team with them and just seeing how all that jives, and then realizing that they do have some serious funding behind them. They're not sweating $10 and $20. $50 a day is fine. All that stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, that's invaluable to learn that stuff.
Yeah, the learning's huge, and you guys, if you can pick up clients, it's one of the best things. Is you kind of learn on their dime. Nothing wrong with that. We're all always learning.
Right.
They benefit as you learn too, so it's good.
Yes, indeed. Always learning. I agree. Well, I think that's it.
That's it for this one. Next week we can talk about your stuff. I'd like to take a couple minutes and walk through what I'm doing with YouTube and just get your quick hit list of this sucks, fix that, don't do that, that sort of thing. I think everyone would get a lot out of that one for sure. And then I can report back after doing your changes on how it worked.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it.
I think that's going to be awesome. All right, have a good one. Talk to you next week.
You too. All right, see you, Bryan. Take care, guys. Later. Bye.